Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name's Lily Williams. I'm the Partnerships Manager at BGL, and if you can't tell, I am based in Melbourne, Australia. So today I'm joined by John. He is Head of Sales UK at FuseWorks, and we have Ashley, the Business Development Manager, also at BGL. FuseSign is the accountant's choice for e-signing made by accountants for accountants, with highly customizable features and seamless integration with industry apps. Fuse helps you streamline your workflows and boost efficiency, plus keeping costs down. The intuitive platform makes signing easy for both you and your clients, while their secure environment ensures peace of mind. With FuseSign, your team is happier, focusing on what really matters, your clients. So before we get started into our demos, I'll just cover some general housekeeping. Today's session will be recorded, so if you do miss anything or you need to jump off early, you will receive a link to watch the webinar at a later date, but we'll also post the recording on our YouTube channel. And you'll notice that we do have the Q&A function available, so if you have any questions throughout the demos or at the end, please pop them in here and we'll do our best to answer them as well. So Ash, I'll hand it over to you to kick things off with a bit of an intro.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Lily. So as mentioned, I'm Ashley Barker. I'm the Business Development Manager for the UK. I don't have the Australian accent like Lily, as I'm sure you can tell. But what I want to do today is kind of run through the CAS 360 product, and we're going to sort of generate some documents and then how it filters through and from a customer's perspective as well. On a CAS 360 piece. So I'm going to dive straight in and then we'll come across to FuseSign afterwards to show the other side of how that all looks. So if I jump into my CAS 360, so a couple of things in here from the platform view straight on. Obviously, we run a traffic light alert system from a confirmation statement basis as well as your general documents. So you can kind of see what's coming up, what's due, what's passed, what's not yet filed as well. So keeping a good track of those documents itself. But what we're going to do today is obviously look at the confirmation statement process and generating those documents to give you that best practice, obviously manage your risk as well, and obviously utilizing that integration with FuseSign as well. So from our confirmation statement screen, we've got everything that's coming up from our oldest confirmation statement through to the end of next month. And then what we can do is start working through them on a process as well. Now, one of the biggest benefits you're going to have in here is something called a comparison report. Now, the comparison report itself is comparing the information from CAS 360 to Companies House. Now, this is obviously making sure clients aren't doing things that they're not telling you, or alternatively, they're just filing their own CSO1. You can keep an eye on when that's being done. Now, normally what you'll see is a lot of past in here. This is a demo account, so we do play around with it to show errors and obviously how clients do it. Just for this example, I've got one that's failed here. And if I dive into it, we can actually see the client's already filed their CSO1, so I can update or re-import the information to get it to match. Again, we can check all the other details before preparing even our CSO1 form. In terms of the actual preparation process, it's very, very simple. What we're going to do is go through to prepare documents. And we've got the lawful purpose statement, just like the Companies House web filing. And then we've also got the confirmation statement dated alongside the registered email address. Now, one of the biggest benefits using CAS 360, there's no need to go and check if anything's changed over the last 12 months. Obviously, we've already seen it on the comparison report, but because those changes are happening in CAS 360, these toggles will automatically be turned on if there's changes in capital or shareholder information, for example. When we go through and prepare those forms, we get our 3 options on documents, and this is where we're starting to link with our FuseSign integration as well. So we've got things like a cover letter, we've got our company summary as well, and just very quickly on the company summary, it is a full overview of the business. And this is the bit that sort of manages the risk side of it by getting the clients to agree that the information is correct. And you'll notice, if I can get down to the bottom, there is a declaration and signature for that client to sign. Now, in terms of simple things, we've got the CSO1 on there. We've got the electronic signing. You can see we connected to Fuse here. And then what we're going to do is process this and send these confirmation statements through to the client. So when I now click send all, we get an email template come up. We've got the details of the individual it's going through to, as well as a fully customized email signature as well. Now, just on the customization piece, we can customize any of the documents in CAS 360 alongside cover letters. Even the company summary can be customized if you wish. But what this is really going to show now is the magic of how CAS 360 and the FuseSign integration works. Because as I click send, what this is now doing is it's coming out of CAS 360, it's going into FuseSign, being mapped out on who needs to sign what where. And then as it goes out, what we can do in our documents tab is actually see that it's been FuseSign sent to client on the date as well. As that gets signed and comes back in, that'll then update CAS 360 and obviously give you an alert, which we can then lodge with Companies House. To give you an idea of how it looks from a client's perspective, you've got a confirmation statement. The client receives the email, again, customized to the client. They can go through and review the documents here as well. So as they go through, they will get the documents that we've had on, so the cover letter, the company summary document, as well as a copy of the CSO1, all pre-populated with the information as well. So as you can see here, I'm just loading up my, well, from a client's perspective, the FuseSign link. And then go through and start signing. Now, as we go through, one of the key things you're going to notice here, there's been no, he says, there's been no stage or manual effort put in here to upload those documents in and choose what needs signing where and putting in the placeholders, the names, sign here boxes. If I now zoom in, we can see the customized company cover letter. There we've got the company summary piece. And if I scroll down, oh, too far, you can already see that sign here box is there. From here, I can click on start signing. And from a client's perspective, I am Clara in this instance. So Clara obviously has now signed that document. That bundle's now been completed. It is making its way back through FuseSign and back into CAS 360. Again, once it's come in, we'll then get the alert. It's fallen into our electronic signing and not lodged section. And we can see that the CSO1 is now FuseSign signed by client. From there, we can click the lodge button on the right-hand side, and that will send the information off to Companies House. But again, using that integration piece with Fuse, it's a very simplified process. And even down to the fact of once it's gone in to FuseSign itself, into Companies House, we can go and look at the attachments that come through. We have all the original documents that have been sent across. We've then got a copy of all the documents from the point of coming back from the client with the signature put in place. And then the other benefit you'll get from the FuseSign integration is you get the full audit report of where that document's gone, who signed it, when it was signed, even including IP addresses of that document as well. So again, enabling you to have any audits done, you've got the information to hand. Now, that's a relatively simple process doing a confirmation statement because of the documents that are in there. Within CAS 360 itself, you can take it a step further, and a couple of changes that we're going to make, and I'm doing this in a shortened version just to make you guys aware. But what we're going to do is look at doing producing a few documents, an ADO1, an APO1, SHO1, even a TMO1 can be included as well. And that's simply by following the instructions. So ADO1 is obviously an address change, pop in the new registered office address, follow the process. And what you'll get is a print icon on the screen telling you the documents being produced for that change. The same with the offices as well. If I go and show all of them, I should be able to show, there we go. So we've actually resigned Kylie Minogue from CAS 360. And again, we've got the print icon turned on here, generating those documents that we need. And we've also appointed Steve Irwin as a director of this business, again, getting that print icon, telling us there's documents that are included. The same with members as well. So obviously, as you use CAS 360 for any transactions on shares, we will hold all the history for you. And then again, there's one down the bottom here. So I've done an allotment to Steve Irwin, given him 100 shares. And again, we've printed some documents there. There are multiple transactions you can do from a share perspective, but it'll always generate the right one you need. When we now go through and prepare those forms, you can now see we've all included not only the Companies House forms of the ADO1, APO1, TMO1, SHO1 forms that are required, but it's also noted any other changes. So with this one, it's actually picked up we need to do a PSC04 as well. The other bit that benefits, including of documentation above other pieces of software, is the fact we will give you the documents that you're going to need as part of that bundle, as well as actually giving you options to include other documents as well. All the way down to your share certificates and applications for shares. But again, the process is really simple, especially with the integration to Fuse. When I go through and send all, as CAS 360 has all the contact information and details of those individuals, they'll be populated at the top. So you can now, we're sending it to 8 people in this instance. And again, we've got that customized email that's going to go through to each individual person with any appropriate placeholders we choose. From there, we can click on send. That will send the documents into FuseSign itself and then get marked up on where it needs to be. Now, one of the reasons I like this one is if I go across, I'm actually 3 people for this one. So I'm going to jump into Ken Miles. So again, customized to Ken. He's received that email of all those changes that we've just done. When I go and review the documents this time, and this is just kind of highlighting the real power of the integration with FuseSign, it is something I like to show off on, is not only will it include all the individual ones for Ken itself, but it already knows who needs to sign what, where, of what document. Now, obviously, with this cover letter, you can see that we've included lots of documents into this particular pack. But one of the ones I want to look at is the members' consent form. And the reason, if I jump down here, oh, where is it? There we go. You can see that it's now populated all the placeholders and who needs to sign what document where. And alongside, we've got Ken Miles in green because that is the part that he is signing. If other people had signed it, you'll actually see their signatures in here as well. So as an internal piece for the business, they'll be able to see who they're waiting on to get the documents finished as well. Now, as we're sending these out, there are multiple changes. From a CAS 360 perspective, I'll come out of this one. Inside our document screen, it'll actually split them out. So we've got a TMO1, SHO1, ADO1, APO1, and the PSCO4. As those documents come back individually signed, because it may require only one signature for a TMO1, you're then able to lodge that into Companies House. And you'll also get a PDF of a lodgement receipt coming back as well. Now, there are multiple things you can do in here from different aspects and different documents done. What I've tried to do here is kind of give you that highlight of how CAS 360 utilizes the integration with FuseSign and obviously mapping out those documents as well. But every time it's gone through and you lodge it, as I mentioned earlier on, I'll scroll down again. Inside the attachments, you'll always get a copy of the signed documents, the original pack, and the audit trail on every single one as well. And that's from a simple overview from a CAS 360 perspective is how we integrate with FuseSign. So I'm going to pass back over to, I think, Lily or John, are you jumping in?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in, unless Lily wants to say anything.
No, that was great. Thanks, Ash. We'll hand it over to you. Maybe do a little intro, and then we can jump in and take a look at Fuse.
I will. Let me. Can I share my screen and I'll start talking over FuseSign. So, can you see FuseSign?
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, brilliant. So, just to introduce myself again, and thank you for such a comprehensive demo of the Fuse and CAS 360 integration, Ash. I'm a bit worried that I've got so little to show now because that really is a fantastic integration. I'm not going to say it's the first time I've seen it, but it was. And yeah, I mean, that is amazing, the way that there's no interaction. The placeholders are put in automatically. Absolutely fantastic. So, as I said, I'm John Oakley. I'm Head of Sales UK for FuseSign. I've been in the accountancy, I have to put my new teeth in, industry for about 8 years. And FuseSign has been in the UK for just over 2 years. We're based in Australia. As you're probably aware, I'm not Australian, so we only have one Australian on the call. And basically, I wanted to show you today how you can use FuseSign as a standalone product, because obviously Ash has just done a great job of showing it with all the integrations. However, you will have other documents that aren't COSEC documents, and it's just to show you the basics of using FuseSign to send those other documents out. So I'm going to make a couple of assumptions before we go. So I have added some recipient details. So I've connected this to, there are a few connections you can do. We've got our BGL connection or integration. We've got an FY integration. We've also got an XPM integration. So I've got all of my contacts asked within FuseSign, and I've also saved some document details for the body of the emails. Now, a little bit of terminology, because there's always new terminology with any app you start using, is today I'm just going to show you the basics in how to create a new bundle. Now, a bundle is an email with a number of documents to sign or to view to a number of recipients. So what I'll do is I'll build that quickly on this page, and we're going to move through the first 4 tabs of FuseSign. One of the things I'm really keen to show you all is the client experience, because I know a lot of the legacy systems, etc., within the UK have portals, passwords, etc. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to send a very quick document to a client or one or more clients, and what that looks like for them and the signing experience. So the first thing I'll do is I'll add a template. So again, you would save these templates within FuseSign. So this is an annual accounts package. You can send this for the types of documents you send out. And obviously here I can customize it from who it's from. I can add figures, Vimeos, Looms, etc. So that's what the client will get. It will also assign the first name of that client to the document as well. Due date. So we're moving into the second box. So we're in settings. We're working all 3 boxes. We normally recommend a week from when you're sending it. Teams is how you can solo or silo, sorry, not solo. You can silo a group within FuseSign so they only see that type of documents. And tags is, it can either be the year or the quarter or the type of document or type of client you are sending that to. This helps you when searching for these type of documents. We also allow reminders, so don't remind the day before it's due or on the day due, on the due date. And we also have overdue reminders, so you can have those as don't remind or to remind weekly, obviously once we've hit this due date. Going into the recipients. So here I'm going to build out a bundle. So the first thing I'll do is you can either select one that already exists, or you can create a new contact, which is first name, last name, email, and mobile number. But I'm going to use myself. Signing orders and signing groups. I'll just explain that very quickly. If I want to send this to one client, and I'll just add one document from the desktop. So this is just a PDF document here. I can set it up like this. So I can have it going out to one client to sign. If I wanted to send this out just for an approval, I can get them just to sign the entire document, which is a signature at the bottom of the documents. But I wanted to show you placeholders because you can add the placeholders manually, save them as a template, but we'll get to that in a moment. So that's one document. If I've forgotten a couple of documents, I can add one more, or I can add up to 40 different documents. So again, I'll open that one. And if you've added a number of documents here and you need to change the signing order, or the viewing order, you can do it that way. If you needed to add more clients or more recipients, it's as simple as just adding them here. And what I'm doing is I'm adding a signing group here. This means everybody will receive these documents at the same time. So I've added a couple of Australians that I'm sure aren't going to look at these documents as I sent them now, but they're on here. And you can create a really custom signing group for this. And you can actually leave people so they don't see certain documents as well. I know security is really important to everybody on this call. You have a number of different options. You can send this out to your clients, and you know your clients better than I do. So you can send it as no two-factor, an email to view the documents, or an SMS to view the documents. As this is a demo, I'm just going to do it with no two-factor. I'll turn that on to everybody. You can also, which is a great new feature in FuseSign, enable an SMS notification. Now, this has increased response rates no end. So this means that they will get the documents as a secure link. Well, they'll get a link via SMS that they can click on, a secure link, and then go and view and sign their documents straight from a text message. So that's just, I mean, it's increased them probably twofold, threefold, the response rate. So I would recommend that everybody adds sending them as an SMS. As you can see here, if I wanted to send this now, I haven't turned this green, but I'll just show you the action. So if I went to send this without adding the placeholders, it won't let me. So again, it does have a way of showing you your next actions, the next process you have to go through. Signature placements are required for recipients with sign action. So I have to add the placeholders. If I was sending it as sign entire, I would move the box over here to sign entire. but I'll just show you how to add the placeholders because Ash has showed us how good it is in CAS 360, but obviously it knows the types of documents, whereas with this, we're adding them manually. So I'll just zoom in a second. So on here, I could pull over 2 signature boxes and add them in here. I could pull in a couple of date inputs and add them to the date boxes. We also have text line, check boxes, paragraphs, and you can make certain items mandatory. Over here, just to show you some of the bits we do to actually save you time. If I'd added 2 signatures and 2 dates, I could have saved that as a template. And then for this type of document, I know it's 2 signers and 2 dates, and I can just apply that template here. So again, we've got, if you know there's documents that you're sending that require 2 signatures and 2 dates, or if you're using this document a lot and sending it out to a lot of clients, save it as a template. So I'm happy with that. I'll click on done. So we've got the basics here. Box 1, we've got the details of who it's going to and what it says, the settings, and then who's receiving the documents. We could preview that. We could save it as a draft, which will put it in the draft section over here. But I'm going to send this because obviously I want to show you the power and then the client experience. So I'll click on send bundle. Here you can see the email preview. So the body of the email, what it looks like, again, fully branded to your practice so they know it's from you. And just quickly, the SMS preview. So this is what the client will receive via SMS, and that's the secure link to view and sign their bundles. So I'll send that off now. And you'll see that we've now moved from new and we'll be moving to active. I've just received a text message. So here, one of the key features of FuseSign as well is our God's eye view, as I call it. I don't know if the Australians agree with that as a good phrase, but I love it. And it basically shows you everything that's been sent out within the practice because we have unlimited users on most of our plans. So this is everybody in the practice can use FuseSign and send their documents out. So this is where you can view all the active bundles. You can go in, and there are a few other bits I could show you, but I don't want to go into too much depth in what you can see. I just want to show you kind of a nice high-level overview. So I'm going to change to my mail. So can you see my mail?
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. So it took me so long to get down to 0 inbox, so I'm quite proud of that. So this is it from the client side. So the client's received a document from yourself, fully branded. It's got the body of the email that was already in the template. They're now going to follow the bouncing ball, so follow the green box. So open the document bundle to sign. That automatically opens up the page in FuseSign that the client is directed to in a moment when the internet decides to do it. I'm not 100% sure what's happening. I don't know why that's not opening. Oh, pop-ups are blocked. Hang on, that's... No, always allow. I don't know why it's done that. There we go. It must be because we're on a Zoom call and because I've got hundreds of people watching. Never happened before. So we've got the documents are going to appear in a moment. We've got the client here. We've got the 2 documents. We've got the body of the email. You've also got a help, which has got videos, how to use digital signing, etc. If it's got legal documents, they're going to see seeking legal advice or it's something they need to discuss with a partner. They can download the documents. Here is the first document. I'll just zoom in. So we've got the body of the document, but there are no actions. So we'll just move to the next one. And this is the one that requires the signatures in the placeholders. So again, I'll zoom in here. So we've got 2 signatures to place. They click on start signing. They sign the document. The first time they sign with us, they can either type it or if they're feeling really brave, they can draw it. That signature is then kept within the system. So the second time they use us, it says use existing signature. So from the client's point of view, that is the bundle completed. There is one here that I sent earlier that I've left inactive for Core Vantage. So I could show you if there's an overdue document, it's sat here so they can click on that and sign that. In about 10 or 20 seconds, they will receive a secure link to download their signed document. So that's from the client experience. Let me jump back into FuseSign. I will just renew this page or refresh this page just to show you, because that was the document we sent. It's now back and signed. You will have received an email saying the documents are back and signed, so they've now moved to completed. And just to show you on this page, this was the one I looked at earlier. So it says that I've seen it. So it's changed color from green to orange or yellow. And then here you've got other documents where they've completed an action and other people haven't done it. So again, you get a complete overview of all the documents that have been sent. Then if I just jump into completed, and I think Ash has already done a great job of showing you this on his demo. You've got the document here. You can then, there's a couple of actions, you can download it and then archive it. There is a clone features bundle that I can go through with anybody separately. If I just log into here just to show you how that looks when it comes into Fuse. You've got the basic history here, which is very basic. In fact, it just shows you that it was delivered, etc. The full document audit is actually in this section. And again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to look at it within FuseSign because it will already be on it when you download it. So again, if I zoom in here, you've got a copy of the signatures and the dates. You've also got, like Ash said, the full kind of IP address, the URL it was sent from. You've got a copy of the signature. If this had been sent as an SMS or an email, it would have sent how it was authenticated by. And then you've got the full document audit log, which is the who, the when, the where, the how. So this is when it was sent, who it was signed by, all the IP addresses, etc., to prove that was your client and when they signed it. So that's now sent and sat in completed. And as I said, the workflow is to download that document and use it in your practice management tool or wherever you store that type of document. Or if we are connected to your practice management tool, that will now be sat against your client. Once you've downloaded it, the key feature is to move it to archive, because as you can see, I've got quite an empty inbox at the moment, but obviously that can fill up. And I think that's kind of it, to be honest. Thank you. And I'll pass you back over to Lily.
Thanks so much, John. Great demo, very informative.